Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your September reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. I'm going to be shaking things up a little bit. We'll do a slightly different reading this time because I had the most amazing energy healing on Saturday with a lady named Gabby. If you're interested in that, let me know and I'll try and forward details somehow. She doesn't have a website, but she has some contact details. Anyway, this shook up my energy level so much. I tried to do some readings the last couple of days, but there's too much that's coming in. So I'm narrowing it really down, okay, and getting to the crux of the matter. So changing a little bit. I've also been a little bit inundated with work because I've just completed my book, which I've been working on for 2 years, a guide to spiritual awakening and vocal channeling. So apologies for not being around for that a lot recently, but I'll try and catch up now. All right, so we're going to tune up with just a ping of the sound bowl. You can join me if you like. I'm going to take a breath in and out. All right, so breathe in and exhale. Spirit guides, Anika Sanja, Archangel Michael, Source Energy Warriors, please protect me in this reading. Please give me clarity, guidance, foresight, and advice for the beautiful sign of Pisces for the highest good. Okay, Pisces, let us see. Right, so we're going to get a card from my deck to see what's going on for Pisces in September. Does Pisces need to know, please, for September for their highest good? Nine of Wands. Okay, just give you a moment to see that. Unfortunately, this deck that I only made one deck, and this is my deck, right? Unfortunately, the print quality isn't great, so luckily I didn't print in bulk. So there are a few scratches on the cards, but I think this lends itself to the message as well for you, Pisces. You are feeling pretty... Oh, I'm getting something else. You're almost on top, okay? You're almost there. Now, obviously, you know, he's climbing a mountain. But there is something definitely about, this feels quite work-related. It feels to me like this month is all about stretching yourself just that little bit further. There's been something that you're working on in terms of, there is a craft that you have mastered, right? This feels work-related, so it feels, it could, when I say work-related, it feels the things that you go out and do in the world. Now, for some of you, that is going to be your connection to your spirituality, okay? It could be your job, it could be a project that you're working on. But it feels to me like it's something that you are pretty expert in, but you're now just that point before mastery, which is really nice, okay? Now, we all know that saying, it's the darkest before dawn, okay? That can make us feel very emotionally drained, like, oh my God, do I have what it takes to reach the finish line? And 100% you do, because nobody reaches a point of mastery unless they've gone through that dark night of the soul, unless they've gone through that heavy moment, that darkness before dawn, where it's almost like, I feel like over the month of September, you will feel at points like, I actually don't know what I'm doing all of this for, because I can't see the return. I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't see how I'm going to get over this hump, okay? Now, there is a sort of battled, bruised feeling towards this. For some of you, there has been a physical ailment, and I would say more like I'm feeling more, obviously this is a general reading, but it feels more kind of like on the surface level of the body rather than organs. So there could have been, you know, broken leg, it could have been lots of bruising. For some of you as well, you could be seeing it play up in your skin. That's what I'm saying. It feels more like you're seeing on the surface of your body. The skin usually shows up when is the first thing to show up when something's not right in the body, something a little bit of kind of misbalanced, and we usually see that come up in our skin with either breakages, can you call it that? Breakouts, that's it, breakouts or rashes and things, okay? It will pass. This is just surface level stuff, okay? The things, what's actually happening is all of this mastery that you've been doing, okay? I feel like you've put a lot of work, your heart, soul, blood, sweat and tears into a particular project or particular endeavor. Now it could be a relationship, but it felt like it was work. It didn't feel fun. It was like, it may have been fun to begin with, but it has felt like hard work. And it's almost like there are times that you've felt, or times that you'll feel like you're slipping, okay? Like you don't quite have your grip on something, that you don't have a grasp on a particular idea or understanding, because you're not yet at that point where you can see the light. You're still sort of focusing on the journey, right? Now this is actually imperative for you for September. What it's actually talking about is that it's really, really important to, it's almost like indulge in this challenge. Really stay in the moment and really recognize within yourself where things make you bleed, okay? And I'm saying that metaphorically, okay? What are the things in that moment that you are feeling like it's a struggle? What are the areas that are making you feel bitter, resentful, challenged, emotionally at disharmony, all of those sorts of things? I feel like it's really important that you recognize that in the moment, because if you can recognize it in the moment, then you will reach the top of the cliff, which is a mountain, quicker. Okay, if you just kind of keep pushing forward and forging ahead and kind of going, yeah, but I'm doing, that's what I want, this is why I'm doing it, I feel like it's going to take you longer to get there. So when I'm talking about this, what I mean is that it's important to recognize what struggle represents to you, okay? So, does struggle feel, is it real, basically, are the kinds of questions you need to be asking within yourself, okay? This bleeding heart that I feel, what is it about that makes me feel so heavy, okay? Is it the disconnection to my soul path? Is it that someone has hurt me? Is it that I'm just not feeling successful, okay? And I feel like if you stay within those energies in the moment, you are able to kind of bring it to illumination, bring it to light, because you are in the moment. Now, we all know that if you look at a kettle, watch a kettle, and you're waiting to make a cup of tea, okay, the kettle takes forever to boil, right? You might have to wait till tomorrow. Not really, but you know what I mean, okay? The minute you kind of sit within this space and connect with the bubbles, like I've got a kettle that is, you know, see-through, transparent, so you can see the bubbles, and sometimes I find myself just like being a bit mesmerized with how the water changes and bubbles up, and before you know it, the kettle's boiled, right? It feels to me like there's something about that in terms of this month. So when you are feeling a bit bruised and worn out and challenged this month, I feel like it's so important for you to just bathe in that energy, because as you bathe in that energy, you're starting to it's almost like having an internal tick list or checkbox to say, okay, that's not serving me, that's not serving. You're sussing it all out. So this is actually a great opportunity this month to really identify the elements of that which is not in your favor, okay? But you need to fully embrace that energy to be able to expel it, right? To get rid of it. Now, what I will absolutely say to you is that whatever you're working on, whatever this struggle is that you're dealing with this month, you're almost there. You are almost there. And what's actually happening is, even if you try and compare yourself to other people and kind of go, well, they've got this, they were able to achieve that. I feel like you're going to be higher, because they may have, the people that we have in our life reflect back to us what it is that we're working towards, either good or bad, right? And so it will be specific to you and the people that are in your life, your circle, right? And these are the things that kind of trigger us sometimes. Like, why is it always going well for them? Why do I not get that? Well, the fact of the matter is that within your circle, they may not have elevated to the stage of mastery. So, in a sense, you've got to really kind of value the fact that you are where you are, because you are, number one, strong enough to handle it, but you've ascended and elevated enough to withhold your grip on your own passion, on your own motivation, on your own willpower, okay? And I feel like by the end of the month, you are going to be super, super proud of yourself. There is also a sense of needing to be, I think what will help you with this month as well, is needing to be as flexible as you can, okay? Also, obviously, if you can do any physical exercise more so than ordinary, this will be very beneficial for you to help you get out of the mind space. But I don't feel like you're caught up in the mind space too much. We've got a bit of heart energy, but we've got a bit of this element of endurance, okay? Now, you are very close to the top. When you reach the top, you will be celebrated, and you'll look down that mountain and be so proud of yourself. It is beautiful, okay? So yes, you're sweating. Yes, you are at the end of your tether and you feel like, God, I just can't go on anymore. Yes, you can. Because this is that juncture between learning something and absolute mastery. I feel like when you arrive at the top of the mountain, and mountains in tarot represent achievements, you're going to be so damn proud of yourself, okay? And within that, other people will be looking up at you. They'll be seeking advice and guidance from you, because you've reached a pinnacle, okay? Now, we will have many mountains to climb throughout our life, okay, metaphorically speaking, but this one is pretty big, okay, and it feels like it's going to turn the heads of people around you. So all the people around you, your inner circle, and those who are reflecting things back to you, it's almost like the tables are going to turn, okay, by the end of the month, and they're going to see you in a very, very different light. And what you may even come to awareness is by the end of the month, they may be confessing to you how they felt that you had more than they had. Yes? So there we see this kind of backwards and forwards reflective energy going on. And I feel like that's going to be also a bit of a shock. And yes, it might feel quite like, oh great, like, okay, it wasn't so bad that I thought, my life isn't such a mess. It's not that your life is a mess. You are like, you're in a student phase, first of all, and I don't mean that kind of making it bad. I'm talking spiritually speaking, right? You're just before that mastery, and you can't, you've already come so far that you couldn't give up now. No way, no way. You've come so far that you're almost there. So this is where you're really being asked to just stretch yourself, push yourself a little bit more. It is beautiful. Okay, so we're going to get an oracle card for you. What does Pisces need to know, please, for their highest good? Thank you. No, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Okay. So this is where you feel, you see how the steps there are leading towards the mountain. All right. It is all about timing. You don't want to climb the mountain and then get zapped by the lightning over there. So it feels to me like, even though you may be hanging on by a thread and holding on and feel like you don't quite still have your grip of it, This is that test that's happening for you. Okay, so there is an element. I've got 3 words that relate to time. This is why it feels so hard. This is the mastery part. Okay, we are not talking patience here, because I feel like you really did that maybe 3 cycles ago, right? Understanding and kind of mastering this idea of patience. This is something different. This is like holding on for the right moment. Okay, so for example, if you have you want to start a new business, okay, and you've got everything in place and you've put all your heart and soul and energy into this, but then you're sensing, oh, the time isn't right to launch. This is where it's like, okay, you got to hold on, keep going, keep putting more work, because the time is just not right. Okay, you need once you reach the 10, then you can start thinking about that, the timing to really put yourself out there, in a sense of, so this can relate to even relationships. So say for example, you really, if you are single and looking for love, and you are just like, you feel like you've done everything, you've done your internal work, you've done some healing, you feel like you've got a bit more self-confidence, you're putting yourself out on dating sites, you're putting yourself out there, all of that sort of stuff, but you're still not meeting anyone. It could, this is an example, it could be that thing of like the timing is just not quite right, because there's that last little bit of mastery to go. Because if you jump too quickly, you'll just have to go back at the beginning again. Okay, so there's something to do with valuing your self-worth to a much deeper level, which is causing pain, because what's that? It's almost like you have to visually see yourself bruised, cut. You have to actually see it on your physical body to know what is happening to yourself at a much deeper level. Now, I'm not saying you're going to start like cutting your fingers if you are cutting vegetables. Well, obviously you can, but I'm not saying that. It's almost like you have to see the raw evidence in front of you of what, of your internal pain. You have to see it play out in front of you to know what you will stand for and what you will not stand for. Yes? So when you see that, it becomes clear. And I feel like September is a time that you start to see that in a very clear way. Okay? That will be the mastery aspect. Now, when it says no, wait, postpone, pause, say no, part of this has to do with being able to say no to other people. I think your job this month is big enough. This is like not a crash course, this is like mastery level stuff going on, right? And so you cannot afford to have any distractions within this, because you're so close to the finish line, all right? So if someone's asking you, or even giving you an opportunity, or inviting you to places, and you feel like torn because you feel like you need to, or you feel like you owe it to somebody else, that is the bleeding I'm talking about. That's when you start to see within yourself how you are punishing yourself internally when you don't value your own worth. And we all have self-worth issues, I know. But what I mean is that you've got to recognize what's good for you, right? So that's why you need that extra, that extra climb, and that extra evidence to show you what's actually happening at a deeper level. Okay, when you see that clearly, then you will no longer put up with something. So for example, after this whole cycle, if someone invites you to something and you really just don't want to go, right? No longer will you feel kind of either guilted into going to do something, or going or doing something that you really don't want to do. You will no longer feel the guilt attachment to that. You will no longer do something just to keep other people happy, right? To keep the peace, right? And you'll start to recognize, well, what is it that I want? Because you'll see the return of when you give up your power. Okay, when you give your power over to other people, and that can literally mean as allowing yourself to be guilt tripped into doing something that you do not feel in resonance with. This is what's happening for you in September, okay? So being able to say no to people, right? Obviously, if you want to do it. But I'm saying when you actually don't want to, I feel like you've got enough on your plate anyway, right? Being able to say no, or being able to say, that's great, I'd love to do it, but I can't do it this month, right? Let's postpone that, or wait, right? Telling someone to wait. These are the things that are going to help you this month as well, just so that you can get on top of that mountain. Because when you do, you're going to learn that it's okay, that when you say no, when you allow yourself to be kind of self-assured within your decision making, because there's only one of you, Pisces, and so this is really important that you understand that it's your vision, your perspective is absolutely valid. Okay, so you're finding that authenticity within yourself and that expression by the end of the month. So it's a big month for you. It's a challenge, but you're a master. You're almost there, right? So what I'm going to do now is trying this out as well, something new. I'm a vocal channeler, and I'm going to see if the collective who I channel, they are 7th density. They're part of my soul family. There's a group of 12, collective of 12. I'm going to see if they have any words of wisdom for you. So it's a bit of a strange accent. I close my eyes, I'll take a few breaths and then see if they've got any words of wisdom for you. All right, so just bear with me. We see that you are balancing. Pisces, your love within your soul connects. Now, you are loving light within your soul. This is fine. This is more. So within this, we see you have a lot of potential to connect more higher, of course, but everyone does. With your valuing system, you are learning to value talks and trust more. You are learning to find ways within to elevate your mind to why you find ways to love. Yes? So you are learning that we choose you, and you choose light. And when you choose light, you talk within yourself and say, yes, I want more. Now, when you ask for more, you nominate light within you to find it. So, it is wise to value your soul, yes, and value your more. It is wise to find talking within yourself to elevate your mind to want more, yes. It is valid. So, learn to trust your soul. Learn to trust your elements, yes, the people around you and the values around you. Learn to trust what they say to you and how this makes you find your soul, yes. In this light, you choose to learn. You learn within light, you learn within your heart, and you connect with an Almighty in this way. Valuing your soul is where you find a love within, and when you find love within, you can balance more and harmonize within your talking. Yes? So when you do this, your speech levels, your communication, and your valuing system elevates higher afield. And in this light, people around you are elevating within you also. So what you are doing is elevating yourself, and as you do so, you elevate others. So we say to you, move more, connect more, trust more, and find it within you. You are there, almost there. You find it within you. It will be wise, and you will be able to connect. Yes? So love it, this journey that you path in your soul. It is connecting you to elements of your deeper love. and it is wise. So within this, you love, we love you more. Okay, Pisces, I hope that wasn't too weird for you. Have a good, useful month, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.